Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. How many of you watch crime scene drama shows like CSI? I admit I watch them, but I watch them to find out how they handle the field of forensic science in the media. The popularity of these shows have come to what we know as the CSI Effect. Today, children are now saying that they want to be forensic scientists when they grow up. You know, we receive a lot more requests for classroom presentations and career day presentations. The universities now offer forensic science degree programs, which they didn't do that in the past. And the pool of applicants are just off the roof now when we have an opening. And the reason why I know all this is because I'm a forensic science administrator at the Illinois State Police Forensic Science Center in Chicago. Popularity of these shows, people have started to believe that what goes on these shows are really accurate. But it couldn't be further from the truth. The jurors' expectations of what forensic science evidence needs to be presented in court has increased. As a matter of fact, it said research has shown that at least 58% of jurors expect there to be some sort of forensic science evidence in a criminal trial. What they don't show you is how the case progresses from the crime scene all the way through the courtroom. Last year, I had the opportunity to work with Project Exploration. Here's a little brochure I'll pass around. Project Exploration is a science education organization at the University of Chicago. And what their goals are is to increase, to change the face of science by increasing the interest in science in minorities. So last year they put together a week-long forensic science program called Forensic Science Investigators for 27 Chicago Public School students. These students range from 7th through 11th grade, and it was about 20 girls and 7 boys, and mostly Latino and African American. So during this program, what we tried to show them is all the steps through the process from the crime scene all the way through the courtroom, which normally doesn't happen in real life because normally several different agencies handle all those different steps. So on the first day, I was there to give a presentation of an overview of what the crime lab can offer. And before I gave my presentation, I felt it was necessary to give them a disclaimer about the TV shows versus reality. On these reality shows, most of the crime scene investigators drive these real expensive cars, Hummers, and things like that, and they also all look gorgeous, And they dress very nice, and they also often wear, the women wear high heels. None of that happens in our life. They go out to the crime scene and they collect the evidence. They bring the evidence back to the crime lab. You'll find them working on several different pieces of the crime scene, and they also will interrogate people and end up arresting the suspects. This also is not true. It doesn't happen that way. So so I asked, I'm also amazed by how fast they start on the cases and the technology that they use to analyze it, and then how fast they receive results. This is true in real life. So actually, in real life, the evidence is collected by crime scene investigators and is brought to the lab. The lab is analyzed by forensic scientists in the lab. The crime scene investigators usually drive Chevys, Fords, and Dodges, and the cases are usually turned over to detectives, where the detectives will continue with the investigation. look at the evidence for probative items and also continue with the investigation and also arrest people. The forensic scientists, they are just normal people like myself who represent just like anybody else in the world. We're civilians. We look normal, you know, but some of us have been, you know, described as looking very attractive after a workout in the a cup of coffee. We all work in specific disciplines. We specialize either in drug chemistry, bio-DNA, latent prints, firearms, and what we do is we analyze the. I'm skipping the whole section. Okay. On the second day of the week, where we gave a mock crime scene for the students out at Washington Park. 2 cars were abandoned out there after shots were fired in what we believe to be a drug buy gone bad. The students were taken out to the park, and they collected all sorts of evidence. They collected cartridge casings, latent fingerprints off the cars, hairs and fibers off the car seats, drug packaging, and a soda pop can that was left in the back seat. And all this was taken back to the lab. Forensic scientists helped them with teaching them how this evidence would be analyzed, and then they were also taught on how they would present this evidence in court. So the week ended on the final day. I went there and with the University of Chicago Law School students, we worked with a couple of the students that were going to be in prosecution and the defense. The mock trial was held before a real judge, and the parents were the jury. So after I was astonished that after the students presented all their evidence in court, that the parents did not convict the primary suspects, even though that was their children presenting the evidence. So I asked you, do you think that this was the CSI Effect had anything to do with that decision? Well, forensic scientists, we might work for a police agency, but we seek the truth from the evidence. And if anything else needs to be worked on, we would work on it. And the reason why I'm letting you know about this, because one day you might be called upon to be a jury in a criminal case. Thank you.